Okay, everyone, we are recording in 3, 2, and 1.
Thank you for joining the RTC Executive Advisory Committee meeting. Mr. Chairman, staff is ready for you to begin the meeting.
Thank you. Good morning, Travis Anderson for the record. I'd like to call to order the April 30th, 2020 meeting of the Executive Advisory Committee. RTC staff will begin with the roll call of committee members, introduce staff on the line, and also touch on a few housekeeping items.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. David Gloria, Management Analyst for the RTC for the record. I will be calling your name in alphabetical order. Please confirm your attendance as I read your name. Chair Travis Anderson.
Here.
Mario Bermudez.
Here.
Dennis Cederberg.
Here.
Lisa Corrado.
Here.
Dale Daffern. Dale Daffern.
I'm here.
Mike Jansen.
Here.
Keegan Luttrell.
Here.
Ed McGuire.
Here.
Joanna Murphy.
Here.
Robert Summerfield.
Here.
Richard Seacrest.
Here.
Thank you, committee members. I would like to make mention that Michael Mays and Vice Chair Sandra Rosenberg have notified the RTC of their absence for this meeting. Please note that we have several RTC staff on the line for today's meeting. This includes Mr. David Swallow, Deputy CEO, Mr. John Penuelas, Senior Director of Engineering, Mr. Craig Rayborn, Director of Metropolitan Planning Organization, Mr. David Clyde, Associate General Counsel, Mr. Joe Damiani, Manager of Engineering, Mr. Keith Eisenach, Manager of Information Technology, and finally, Ms. Eileen Pastor, Government Affairs Supervisor, will be reading public comments. As the chair mentioned, I have a few housekeeping items to go over. Please state your name for the record before speaking. Be sure to mute your line if you are not speaking, but please note that staff will monitor lines and mute any background noise. Voting will be done verbally. The chairman will call for ayes and nays. If there are no nays or abstentions, then the motion will carry. If there are nays, then a roll call vote will be required. In the event of a roll call vote, please wait for your name to be read to provide your vote. The chair will call for any comments or questions after an item has been presented. Thank you, Chair Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Gloria. Mr. Penuelas, for the first item, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. John Penuelas, RTC Senior Director of Engineering. The first item on your agenda is to conduct the first citizens participation period. On March 22nd, 2020, the State of Nevada Executive Department issued a Declaration of Emergency Directive 006, which suspended the requirement to have a physical location for public meetings. Pursuant to Directive 006 and for the health and safety of the community, this meeting is being held telephonically. To allow for public participation, the RTC is accepting public comments via email at publiccomments@rtcsnv.com. Comments can be submitted to be read aloud or to be added directly to the written record. Ms. Eileen Pastor will read the public comments received by the RTC.
Thank you, Chairman Anderson, for the record. This is the first time set aside for public comment. This time is limited to comments on items included on the agenda. Comments will be limited to the first 500 words, with the remaining words to be included in the written record. Do we have any comments?
Thank you, Chairman Anderson. Eileen Pastor, RTC Government Affairs Supervisor for the record. We do not have any comments to a posted agenda item.
Thank you. Moving on, Mr. Penuelas.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. John Penuelas again. The next item is to approve the agenda. Your agenda is in order and ready for approval.
My apologies. Can we, for citizens participation, we did have one that was submitted for items number 4 and 5.
Yes, go ahead.
The submission is from David Salter, President of the Nevada chapter of ACEC. Dear Chair Anderson and committee members, on behalf of the 42 Nevada design and engineering firms represented by the Nevada chapter of the American Council of Engineering Companies, ACEC, and the 1,648 Nevadans they employ, we stand in strong support of your continuing effort to fund critical infrastructure and capital projects within Southern Nevada. Specifically, on the April 30th, 2020 EAC agenda, we support the continuation of funding for capital investment projects, items number 4 and 5. In this time of crisis, we understand the difficult responsibility in prioritizing funding in all areas of the region. ACEC applauds the efforts of all jurisdictions in Clark County for helping to stabilize revenue and public health efforts into slowing the spread of COVID-19 as much as possible. As Nevada looks to reopen the doors of businesses, continuing funding in infrastructure and capital projects will assist the economy in rebounding more quickly and help keep thousands of Southern Nevada workers employed. Capital improvement projects are an opportunity for immediate economic stimulus whose benefits remain localized. The roadway and infrastructure projects funded by fuel revenue indexing have enhanced commerce and promoted business development throughout the region. As of December 2019, RTC has awarded 338 contracts working with 78 local small businesses. Expediting the approval of these projects will be an economic shot in the arm for the Southern Nevada economy, bringing economic recovery more rapidly and produce wages and tax revenues in support of greater commerce. Your leadership is needed to continue moving these projects forward. On behalf of Nevada's design and engineering community, ACEC Nevada requests your unanimous support of these important agenda items. Sincerely, David Salter, President of ACEC. And that concludes the comments for posted agenda items.
Real quick, Mr. Chairman, this is David Gloria for the record. I see that I have Sandra Rosenberg from NDOT. Just wanted to confirm that you are on the line. Can you hear me?
Yes, I just joined. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to note for the record that you are on this line for the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. So I think we were on item number 2. Do we need to reread that, or can we, from what?
Let's just do it again just to make sure everybody knows where we are. Again, John Penuelos for the record. The next item is number 2, which is to approve your agenda, and that agenda is in order and ready for your approval.
Are there any comments or questions from the committee? Hearing none. Do we have any comments from the general public? Okay, sounds like 0 questions. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Sorry, Mr. Chairman. I think we need to call for a motion for that.
I apologize. I'm getting ahead of myself. Please call for a motion.
Ed McGuire, motion to approve.
We have a motion now on the floor. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. That motion carries, and turn the time over to Mr. Penuelos.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. John Penuelos again. The next item is to approve your consent agenda. This consists of items 3 through 37 and can be taken in one motion.
Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from the committee on the consent agenda? Hearing none, do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
Ed McGuire, motion to approve consent agenda as submitted.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. Therefore, the motion passes. Mr. Penuelos.
Yes. Oh, did I hear somebody? Okay, sorry. John Penuelos again. The last item on your agenda is the final citizens participation.
So this is the second time set aside for public comment. Just a reminder that comments will be limited to the first 500 words, with the remaining words to be included in the written record. Do we have any comments?
Thank you, Chairman Anderson. Eileen Pastor again for the record. We do not have any comments at this time.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, John Penuelos again for the record. I had something.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I'd just like to let the committee know that we have received all of the agency's project lists, and we want to thank you and each of your teams for getting that to us in a very timely manner. This has officially started our capital improvement program development process, which we are all looking forward to, and we appreciate David's comments from the ACEC. We share them. We will have the proposed 10-year CIP for fiscal year 2021 on your agenda for consideration and potential approval on May 28th. Assuming we get approval from you then, it will then go to the RTC Board of Commissioners on June 11th for approval and adoption. That's all I had, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. If there are no additional comments, I will close the item, and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.